Hey gifted crafters, welcome back for another Saturday CrafterNoon. Thank you all for tuning in today. I'm super excited because we got some really fun stuff to talk about today. So if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Nancy with GiftsHQ, and I host these weekly live sessions to talk about all things crafting. We talk about things from knitting, crocheting, decoupage, embroidery, sewing, and just so much more. I love all types of crafts, so I like to dabble in a little bit of everything. So if you are someone who maybe has an Etsy shop, or you have a craft fair coming up, or you're just looking for a quick gift, this is the perfect place to get all of those ideas. So feel free to jump into the chat and say hello to some friends, share some tips, tricks, and ideas, and let's just help each other out and create this wonderful crafting community. So I want to just go ahead and jump right into the chat and say hello because I see a lot of people out there today. I see Amy Bullis, I see Crafting with Robin, Devila Walker, I see Jackie Hallman, Jenny Owens, Judy Bauer, 1 Minute Tips, Quilty Brownie, Robin's Quilt Basket, I see Sassy, I see Yvonne Hudson. Thank you guys all for tuning in. I really appreciate you taking the time on your busy schedule and just spending this Saturday afternoon with me. So this is just going to be a nice little hour, and I know a lot of people say it just goes by really quick. I try to just cover everything I can. I try to be mindful for everyone's time, so I know that everyone is super busy, so I'll try to jam up as much as I can in the hour. So alrighty, now I've got a couple of things to go through. Well, first off, I like to start off with my holidays, and these are kind of some unusual holidays that you may not find on your calendar. So today is Chocolate Cake Day. So for you chocolate lovers out there, this is the perfect day for you. It's also your National Visit Your Local Quilt Shop, which is awesome because that's something that I think we all love to do. And I also wanted to get a reminder out there because we have the Sewing and Quilting Expo that is coming up in Lakeland, Florida. And I will be attending. I'm not sure on which of the days just yet, but I'm going to be attending this conference, and I think it's just an amazing event. They go around different states throughout the year, but for March 14th, 15th, and 16th, they will be in the Lakeland, Florida area. Now, I am from sunny South Florida, so I will have a little bit of a drive to go over there. Not too bad, but just check out their website, sewingexpo.com, and you can find out where they will be at and what dates they'll be at. Maybe that's going to be closer to where you live. But it is a pretty nice event. I love the information that they give you. It really highlights all of the classes and all of the things that you are able to do. So they've got some really nice vendors that are going to be there. I'll be checking them out, looking at the machines, the threads, and just probably so much more. So I know that I'm really excited about this event, so I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're able to be out there at the Lakeland, Florida area, reach out to me and let me know, because maybe we can kind of meet up with you. So just check this out. You can go to the website and you can just put in your information, and they'll actually send one of these out to you. That gives you a lot of the class information and stuff, but you can also just see this online as well. So let's see. Let me see if I got any of the other things. Oh, on the trivia, guys. So I know a lot of you may already know this, but if you're tuning in and you're not too familiar with how the channel works, I always start off the top of the hour with the trivia. Just go ahead and start answering the questions, type in the answers along with everyone else. What we like to do is we like to tally up all the points, and we do put it out on the community chat as to who is the most gifted crafter. And we continue these every Saturday, and by the end of every quarter we will select who our gifted crafter is, and that's the one with the most points. And then at the end of the year we will announce our champion. And of course I like to give a little gift to those that have won. So we've got a few of our winners that are even out there today in the chat, and they can kind of vouch and maybe have some little bragging rights on the things that they have won. So I hope you guys enjoy that and feel free to participate. It is totally free and it's just something that I like to do just to get things people motivated and get our creativity juices flowing. And then, you know, just kind of share some little tips and tricks that people may or may not know. So let's see, what else do I have out here? So last week, just a little recap, we covered tips and ideas, and we made a portable ironing board and cutting mat. So I'll just show that really quickly here. So if you didn't catch that video, that was live number 74. So we made it in the form of like a little book. And so on the book here, you have a little pockets over here to put stuff. You've got like a little design board space here, so you can kind of play around with your fabrics and maybe throw some things here, so some designs that you're thinking about. You also have this little cutting board over here, so you can cut some of your fabrics. And then on the other side, you have the actual ironing board. And we also put a piece of fabric in between here that's pretty large, so that we can kind of make this really portable, and you can kind of put it on your lap, and you can, we also added some handles on here so that you can also carry it. The other thing, we had a little mini portable one that we made, and this was all just using simple supplies, super easy to make, nothing complicated at all. It's just a nice little hard surface so that you can bring it with you to maybe some little event, a sewing retreat or anything like that. And it just makes it a lot easier to carry it around and get yourself all organized in one place. So if you didn't catch that, that was last week's live. Just feel free to go back to that one and look at it. Today is live number 75, guys. So I am super excited that we are at 75 lives. I can't believe I've done 75 of these. These are just amazing. So for those of you who don't do YouTube channels and things like that, I mean, there's a lot of work that goes behind, you know, getting these little events together. So you've got all your camera equipment placements, the lighting, the actual craft that you're doing, the instructions, getting the notes ready, you know, knowing what you're going to say. So all of that is just like a ton of work to do to get all these together and just, you know, put it so that you guys can enjoy it. And I really hope that you enjoy the content that I give out to you guys. So we are over 5,000 subscribers, so that's really exciting, and live number 75. So that's, I'm really floored by the love that you guys have shown me. I really appreciate that. So let's get to this week's craft. So if you saw our little Facebook hint out there, we're going to be covering some little decorating ideas that you can make for your next sporting event on your gatherings. So what we're going to do is we're going to be making a Super Bowl table runner, and I think that it's going to be a lot of fun. You can kind of do it as a no-sew project. You can also do it as a sew project. So I'm going to cover all kinds of different ideas of where you can go with some of this and how I was able to put mine together. So let's get right to it, because we've got a lot of things to share with you guys. So let me get some of the supplies over. So let's talk about the base of the table runner itself. So there's a couple of things that you can use. Now, of course, you guys know I love my little Dollar Tree. So I was able to go out and buy this faux table runner. And you can pick this up at the Dollar Tree. Now, this is in the Dollar Plus section, so it did cost me $5. But honestly, guys, I think it was totally worth it, because look at the size that you get. I mean, it's pretty long. It's a really nice size, and the quality of it is pretty great. Let's just open it up here so you can see it. I'm going to try to break this open here. Here we go. And so you do get quite a lot on this. Now I will have to Moving up here, here. Okay, here we go. So as you can see, there's a couple of uses that you can do with this. So the first thing that I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and use this for a little Super Bowl kind of gathering that we're going to have. Now, I'm not a big football type fan thing, but I do like to have the decorations out and have all the good food out. And I just enjoy everyone just gathering and, you know, having a great time together. So, I don't know about the teams and who's playing and all of that stuff. I leave that up to all the guys. I'm just going to go about my business about the food and, you know, having a great time. So for me, you can get this. Now, some people are, you know, gung-ho on the teams that are playing. There's things that you can add on the end of the table runner that may be reflective of the teams that are playing, or maybe just your favorite teams, or maybe you just want to put like your name and stuff, but you can add like an additional piece of fabric here on the end, and then you can just, you know, embroider something on there, or you can just, you know, add a little extra if you'd like. But I'm going to take you through the steps that I made to make this. Now, if let's say you don't have a Dollar Tree, or you can't seem to find a Dollar Tree with the plus section that may have this, there are other alternatives that you can do just to get this piece ready. So one thing you can do is you can go to Home Depot. They do have astro-turf available. And the good thing about it is, if depending on the table size that you have, if you have one of these awkward big wide tables, or maybe you have a very small table, you can get them to cut the astro-turf to the size that you need, which is awesome because you don't have to go home and do that yourself or ask your hubby to do it for you. So you can get that done at Home Depot, and it will be the astro-turf, very nice quality as well. But if you don't want to go through all of that hassle, the other thing you can do is just go to your craft room and just look around, try to see if you can find some green fabric. Green fabric will do the trick. It will be just as nice, and you can even make this just a sewing project. And if you choose that, you know, you could use this over and over, throw it in the wash. There's so many things that you can do. And then once you have this done, you know, you don't have to make it every year. You just kind of pull it out and there it is. So that's a great alternative in terms of the turf or the green part of your table runner. So what are we going to do with this table runner? Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to mark the lines. So the very first thing that I did is I unrolled this whole entire thing, and I wanted to find my center point. So once I unrolled the whole thing and I found where my center was, I kind of just marked it with my hands. And then when I opened it back up, you're going to want to mark that all the way across. And there's different ways that you can do that as well. So let me just grab a couple of things over here, because there's a few options that you can have with that. So one of the things that you're going to do is mark the white lines going across, right? Now, what can you use for that? Well, I have a piece of felt, also from the dollar store. You just need one roll. And all you would do here is you would cut strips of about 1 inch, or maybe even less, depending on the look that you're going for. And what you'll do is once you cut those out into 1 inch strips, you're going to want to do one for each of the lines, right? So you're going to have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then 40, 30, 20, 10, right? So that's how many strips you're going to need for each line that you're going to be having on your turf here. Okay, so you can use felt. If you don't have felt, you can also use fabric. So grab a piece of white fabric, measure it out, cut it out, and you can have that on here. Let me see if I'm missing anything. Oh, The other thing, if you don't have fabric and you don't have felt, you can get white duct tape. White duct tape, strip going across. Maybe you're going to want to cut it to the size that you want. If you want it to be 1 inch in terms of the width, then just cut it down to that size, or see if you can find 1 inch duct tape. That would work as well. So that's another option that you have. And then the third option, and I kind of see this more probably for the fabric one. There's a product called Chanel-it. And Chanel-it will kind of give you a little bit of a fluffy, scraggly type of look. It's like frayed fabric. So if you look at what the product is, when you open it up, it comes in a roll. And basically, it's cut on the bias. So you have a little bit of give on here. So you're able to kind of twist it and turn it kind of, for the most part, any way that you really need it to be. And the way this works is that you would have to sew this down, right down the middle. Just sew one straight stitch. And then you're going to want to take a little brush, or what people usually do is they throw it in the washing machine and then throw it in the dryer. And what happens is these ends are going to fray. And so they kind of create this little rough little marking on here, if you will. And so it, over time, it starts to look even better and better as the fraying becomes more, you know, so it's really neat. Or if you just want to leave it down for the first time, just go ahead and do a strip like that. That would work too. So it's totally up to you which items you use. Another option, let me see if I have any other here, is going to be maybe doing the fabric strips. You may want to use heat and bond with it to kind of stabilize it and get it into place. But I would probably do more of like maybe the numbers and things like that, because that, you know, there's a couple of different things that you can do with that, and I'll get to those in just a second. So Chanel-it, I tried it out on one piece of fabric, and I'm trying to see if I find it here. And this was a really scrap. I was just really playing around with it. This is something that you would get with it. So this is not a great example because it's not very pretty, but it was just me testing and seeing, and I wanted to see how long the frays could go. So you could see here, all I did was I took a couple of squares that I had, and I went ahead and just sewed them together to create just a little block. And then I went ahead and I took my Chanel-it and just kind of brought it all the way around in the shape of a heart. And then I just started to play with the fraying, and I started to kind of play around with it. So you can see that it starts to fray a little bit here, and so it has that little scraggly type look. So if you like this type of look, then, you know, using the Chanel-it will probably be perfect for you to be able to do that on your fabric. You could also use it on the turf, but I don't know if this size would actually be good. You probably would want something a little bit wider than this one. This one, let me see if the width is on here. It's about 40 yards that you get, and I got this off of Amazon, by the way. Let's see. And it doesn't say. It just says it's cut on the bias, but let's see. If I measure this here, you're getting about, it's about a ½ inch. It's about a ½ inch wide on here. But you do get a generous amount, which is nice. So this will last quite a while for me, at least. But it is an option that you have in order to do your table runner. So if you want that scraggly type look, then this would definitely be something that you would want to pick up. And I'm sure there's probably all kinds of different ones that are out there. This is just the one that I got from Amazon. I honestly don't remember how much I paid for it because it was a while ago, but it's pretty much simple to use. You stitch the right in the middle. You can wash it Or you can take a spray bottle, you know, just spritz it, and then just with a brush or something, just kind of brush it off and it'll start to fray. So it's a lot of fun in terms of putting another design together, you know, doing something new. So I just wanted to test it out and do it on here, and it worked out pretty neat. But I can see myself using these for all types of other projects as well. So I wanted to kind of show that over to you guys. So that's what you can use. Those are the different options that you have in order to do the stripes going across, or the yard lines, I guess I should say, going across, right? I went with the felt. I thought that one looked the best with this turf that I got, so I went ahead and I used felt. Now, before I started to kind of lay out my felt on top of this, the first thing that I did, like I said, was to find the center. And then what I did is I took some painter's tape and I just went ahead and marked, just like this. Just kind of mark down where you want your line to go. So once you have that marked out, you're going to want to take your ruler, and I'll just grab one here from the back that I got. And all you're going to want to do is take this and just measure out, you know, however wide you want your markers to be. So I have this ruler. It's an OmniGrid ruler, and it's about 6 inches going across. So that's pretty much what I used when I brought this turf. I think that was the right number for me to be able to get all of the yard lines that I wanted evenly onto the astro-turf, and then have a little extra on the end. So I went ahead and marked all of the lines first so that I knew that they would kind of fall exactly where I wanted. But then when I was ready to put down the felt, you can do two things. You could leave the tape exactly where it is and then take some double-sided tape and just put it on top. Or you could just remove the painter's tape and replace it with the strip of the felt that you put on. And let's just go over here, and I'm just gonna show you really quick. Just going to slide this over a little here. I'm going to grab this felt. Now I'm left-handed, so I do things about a little bit opposite. But just go ahead and measure out an inch here. I'm going to use my 45mm rotary cutter. You can just use any rotary cutter you're comfortable with. Go ahead and do that strip. And then once you have your strips all cut out, then you're ready to start placing them. And what makes it nice and easy is if you already have the painter's tape down, you know exactly where those strips need to be. So it just makes it a lot easier to then go ahead and place them down. So that, for example, would be where my line would be, and then I would continue to mark them all the way down on the runner here. Now, other thing that you're going to need to do are the numbers. So of course you've got different options for the numbers as well, and I'm going to show you a couple of the ones that are options here. Now, one option, and this is if you have these in your craft room, is probably one that you can do. Now I have a bunch of these. These are just some embroidered patches that have the numbers on them. So let's just say that we want, I don't have a 0 on here, but let's just say it's a 5, and then I would put the 0 on this side. Let me see. Don't think I have a 0 in this bag, but I'll show you the finished product on mine. But these, I have a bag of these. They come in all different ones. You can buy them from Amazon, or you can make your own embroidery patches, right? So if you have an embroidery machine, you can just make the numbered, if you want, onto the patch, or you can just purchase them from Amazon. But these could be a little pricey because they are embroidered. So other alternatives that you can do for this is using fabric. So those of you who maybe you have a Cricut machine, right? You can take your fabric and you can load it onto your Cricut machine and you can design your own little numbers, or they have numbers that you can also kind of use as well. But if you want to use this type of font, you could look for this font and then you can just have the Cricut machine cut out the numbers for you. Now, I would recommend probably using something like a heat and bond on the backing. That way, when the number is cut out, you can just place it down onto the turf and it'll stick with no problem. So that is one option for you. Now, if you do not have a Cricut machine, that could be a problem too. But there are still other alternatives that you can do. You don't have to have an embroidery machine to do these that are embroidered. You don't have to have a Cricut to do the ones that get cut out perfectly from the Cricut machine. You can also just get a stencil and take your stencil, take some fabric, take some heat and bond, and just with the stencil draw it out and cut it out yourself. That's another option. Or maybe if you're good at drawing and stuff and you can freehand it, great. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't have to come out completely perfect because this is what you want it to be. So you can do it any way that you like. Let me just see if I had any other ideas for the numbers. So we've got the embroidered patches. We've got the fabric that you can cut with your Cricut. We've got the fabric that you can cut with a stencil with heat and bond. And then you also have vinyl stickers. So vinyl stickers you can probably pick up at the dollar store. You can pick up probably at your local Walmart. You just need to have the numbers. You don't need the letters. So you could probably find that at a relatively low cost as well. So getting those all together, all the materials, whichever fits your budget and is going with the look that you're looking to do, just grab those supplies. And then once you have all of your strips of painter tape down, that's really more for placement on making sure that everything is nicely evenly spaced. And when you're ready to start putting things down, you can use the felt with some double-sided tape. You can always get some of those from the dollar store or in your local Walmart. You can do it that way, or if you want to sew it on, you can if you're doing the fabric. So you could do that using the Chanel as well. These are all just different types of options that you'll have in order to be able to make this table runner. So let's take a look at some of these here. Let me just kind of move these over to the side. And I'm going to show you kind of the finished product here. Let me move this over and this over. Okay. Sorry, I've got a couple of things on here, so I want to make sure that I bring these over. So one thing to note, the heat and bond, if you're not familiar with it, this is what it looks like. If you're going to go with that method, this is what the actual packaging looks like. They have all different sizes and different types, but you just need heat and bond for it to adhere to the fabric if you're going with that method. So you could pick that up at your local Walmart, at a fabric store. There's tons of places that have them. Alrighty, now I kind of just placed these a little bit. I didn't want to do it too much. So what I did was kind of place it. I was hoping it all stays together. Kind of see how I can do this here. So if you could see here, it's kind of large, so I know you won't be able to see the whole thing. But this is my center point with the 50-yard line. You'll see that here. And I didn't actually stick anything down yet. I have everything kind of on a temporary hold with double-sided tape, because then I'll be kind of taking the backing off and actually sticking them down. So I just kind of wanted to show you what it would look like once you have everything placed down. So again, you take your felt or your fabric, whatever it is that you're going to use, and you put it down. You always want to start on the 50-yard line because that's the piece that's right smack in the middle of your table runner. So depending on the length of your table or how long your turf is, it may be shorter, and that's okay because you can make these lines thinner and you can kind of just make them closer together. Then what you can do, of course, with the numbers is, you know, depending how wide your lines are, you may want to reduce the size or enlarge the size. It's totally up to you. It's however you want to make it. So I think this is just a lot of fun, and it's going to bring a lot of attention to the table where we'll have all of our snacks and things available. So I think that is just a great way to kind of bring things together for our next football event. So let's see if I see any questions out there. I know I kind of went through a lot. Let's see. I see Amy says, we all love it. I was one of the team athletic trainers in college. My son and nephew both have scholarships to help pay for college. My BIL coaches, and my son is going into education and coaching. Awesome, Amy. Awesome. It's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. Let's see. Robin says, so neat looking. 1 minute tips. Yep, Amy, you're amazing. Yes, you are amazing, Amy. Let's see. Judy says, not good. Back in the news. Oh, she's talking to someone on the chat. Awesome, awesome. Okay. Oh, Delva says, see, it's all neat. I don't have to have a hand to pull this off. Oh, Amy says, I'm thinking these would sell well if you used your Cricut to make the team mascot in the middle and colored the end zone. Exactly, Amy. Is what I was saying in the beginning is, and on the end here, you know, this is what the end of the mat is right here. So you could add a piece of fabric on here on the bottom, and you can make it whatever you want. You can do the teams, their favorite team names, or you can buy some of the fabric that has the teams right on the fabric and attach it to the end, and then just kind of bring it all the way down and all the way around. So you would extend the fabric out this way. But this was definitely, you know, that's something that you could do. I mean, you can buy it, you can use that. I don't know about selling it since it's, you know, you've got copyright issues and all that, but you can definitely put something on the side if you want the fabric on the side to have that, the licensed fabric. You can get those and then just add it to the turf. That would be cute. Some people may even just want to put their names. You know, maybe it's a family rival name, you know, one family against the other, and they're always doing football together. That would be fun too. You can do whatever you want it to be. You can do colors. You can do all of that stuff. Now, the turf is, remember, it is turf, so it is kind of heat sensitive, so you do have to kind of be careful with that. But definitely for you to be able to put the snacks on, you can do it around it. I mean, I just think it's just a great way to kind of bring it out and just show off that decor, and it'll be a nice little addition to the gathering. I think it'll be a big hit for you to just kind of have all the stuff, and it's just a fun way to express the actual event. And I think it's just a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun to make. It really doesn't take that much. Now, again, if you are using the fabric, you can sew these yard lines in, and then you can sew either the numbers in, or you can again use the heat and bond. You know, there's different things that you can do. And if you're using the fabric, you're able to kind of then go back. You can throw it in the wash. You can do so many things and use it over and over again. This turf here I wouldn't throw it in the wash on here. It's got that rubbery hard backing here, but it looks like it will kind of last you for a while. So really would just be a matter of just kind of folding it carefully and just kind of putting it away for the next year. But I think it's really nice. Let me try to move it this way to see if you guys can see this. I'm going to try to move it all the way over. So this is the end here. You got the ends here, and this is where you can add another piece here if you'd like. To just, you know, show your favorite team, put your name on here. Touchdown. I've seen people put, maybe you can get the letters that say touchdown and put that on the end as well. That's another way of doing it. Or you could just do a nice little add a little binding here on the end and just do something fun with it. It's totally up to you on how you want to do this. You can be as creative as you want. Right now I just have it kind of bland. I have my lines, I have my numbers and the turf all ready to go. I still have to decide, you know, how I want to kind of now just try to personalize this a little bit more, just for myself and the family that's going to be using this. So this is the 10-yard line, and you can see here from the 10 to 20-yard line, again, if I take my ruler, you can see here it's about the size of my ruler. So again, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches going across. And I continued 6 inches all the way down on the whole runner. And it doesn't have to be 6 inches. You can do 5 inches, 4 inches, depending on the size that you have and how much of the turf you have available. Just try to be consistent, whichever number it is that works out for you, to be able to get you from 10 to 50 and then from 50 to 10. You know, you just gotta work out what the number is going to be and make sure it's consistent going all the way across. Oh, 1 minute tip says this is a great idea for the games. Jackie says, not sure the heat and bomb would adhere. It would adhere if you're using the fabric method. So if you're going with, and let me see if I can grab that back again. If you're going with this fabric here, then you could use the heat and bond. And the great thing about that is, you know, you're able to just kind of throw it in the wash and you can use it over and over again. It's probably a little bit easier to put away as well. This is probably a little bit more bulky, but you know, I just like the look of the turf itself, and you know, it's pretty inexpensive and it was just a lot of fun to put together. So let's see here. I'm gonna bring this down a little bit more. So here it is now on the other side. So you can see it's pretty consistent. Try to move it a little bit over here. Now I haven't put these down yet, so I just have them right now with a little bit of tape. But what I'm going to do now is I have to take off the backing and actually stick it down. Now I could also run it with a quick little needle and thread, just to kind of reinforce it to make sure it stays down in there. But I mean, it's a table runner. It's not like you're moving it around all over the place. So you can definitely use this. And, you know, I think it's just a quick, neat little decoration that you can have. But again, you can do it with fabric. You can do the astro-turf, or you can just get this from the dollar store and the dollar store plus section. So I think it's really neat. I think it's pretty cool, you know, if you've got some people getting together at your home just to do something a little bit different and make it a little bit more fun. So let's see. Amy says, made smaller, it would make a cute wall hanging if mounted on a logo fabric. I love using the actual turf. That's a great idea, Amy. Yes, you could actually do that as a wall hanging. That would be really cute. You know, and then maybe do the logo like in the middle. That would be really, really cute. I mean, that's nice. That's a nice idea. Thanks, Amy, for sharing that. That's really neat. Oh, Devla said, really enjoyed this craft. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you liked it. Quilty Brownie says, love this turf idea. And Jackie says, yes, the fabric would work. You could use hot glue for the turf. That's another alternative, right? Yes, Jackie, you can also do hot glue. Now, this one, since it's kind of plasticky, you know, you gotta kind of be careful with that because the hot glue could melt it. But for the fabric, you can definitely use that also. 1 Minute Tip says, you can also embellish with toy football items. Yes. Other things that I have seen is people also maybe will put this out on the table, and then as the game is playing, you know how when they kind of break away and they have the little X's and O's and they kind of show what the plays are going to be, some people will actually take, instead of doing the numbers, they will do the letters, X's and O's, and they would put them around the turf. And so everyone can kind of, you know, say, oh, well, I think this play is going to happen, and they'll be able to move them around on the entire table runner and just kind of play with that and kind of play that game. And then some people may do little bets and say, I bet they're going to do this play, and I bet they're going to do that play. And so they can get in here and just kind of play around with that. And that can be like a little event that they do, you know, while watching the game. Just makes things a little bit fun, adds a little bit of humor to what's going on. So it's just, you know, a great way to kind of get everyone together. Let's see. You've got all our cogs turning with ideas, Nancy. Oh, thank you, Quilty Brownie. Thanks. Robin's Quilt Factory said, that's a neat idea, Nancy. Awesome. Oh, I'm going to have my daughters see this video and have them make this. Get the grandkids involved. Yes, yes, awesome. And there's other things that you can do to get ready for Super Bowl. There's so many things you can do, you know. You can take brown paper bags with some white tape, duct tape, and you can do lines similar to this, you know, but in the design of a football. And then just throw like some popcorn in it and just kind of have that as little snacks that you can do all around. You know, you can do the same thing with little mason jars. Do little football signs on there, or you can print them out on your Cricut machine. You know, you can do so many different things. It's just really a little bit time consuming on some of the things that you can and can't do, but try to stick to the real simple items so that you can enjoy your friends, family, you know, those that came over, and get to spend the time and be with them. You know, you can make these fun little events so everyone can kind of play with them, you know, and they just find it to be really nice. So I really like to do things like that and, you know, kind of do little gatherings and stuff. I think it's a lot of fun. And so I like to kind of create all kinds of different things. Okay, so if you want to spend the time to make them much more elaborate, please do so. But go ahead and share it with us, because I would love to see what you guys come up with for Super Bowl. One of my goals for this year was trying to stay ahead of the holidays, and so far we've been okay with that. I wanted to get these ideas out to you guys a little bit ahead of time so that you can have time to get all of the things that you needed, or to, you know, coordinate yourself and get the time to be able to do some of these projects. So I think that you guys will really enjoy it. Okay, Sassy says, in order to reuse the table runner, one could use Velcro. Oh, for attaching the teams. Look, that's a great idea, Sassy. You're absolutely right. Since it changes every year, just use Velcro and you can swap them out. That's an awesome idea. Definitely. And you could probably attach Velcro on here as well. So maybe every year you would wrap up the turf. So it makes it a little bit easier to put away, you know, and then you don't have to worry about the strips, you know, the lines or the numbers getting lost. You can just kind of wrap these up and put them away, and then you can attach Velcro so that next year you would just do the same thing and then put the lines down. And you can have the kiddos do that, because I'm sure that they would love to get involved and do things like that. So awesome idea. I love the Velcro idea. That's another great way to be able to reuse this over and over again. Alrighty. So I think, let me just double check if I missed anything. So we've got the astro-turf you can get from Home Depot. You get the Dollar Tree Plus section. or you could just use plain old fabric in your fabric stash. For the lines, we talked about using white duct tape. You can do fabric strips, you can do felt strips, or you can also use this product that's called Chanel It. That'll give you a little bit of that frayed effect. And then for the numbers, again, you can use embroidered patches. You can use fabric that you can cut out with your Cricut, or you can try cutting some fabric out with stencils and then just cutting them out yourself, or you could just simply get some vinyl stickers. And as we just learned now, you can also put some Velcro behind it so you can reuse them over and over again. So those are all the ideas that I kind of threw together to be able to share with you guys in order for you to put together your own little Super Bowl table runner. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. And let me just check again if there's any questions that are out there. Let's see. Oh, and 1 Minute Tip said, yes, this can work for Easter too. Absolutely. You can definitely reuse these over again. So once Super Bowl is over, you can do something like this for Easter. I'm sure there's something I can probably come up with that'll be with Easter things all over this. And that would be a great table decoration for that holiday as well. So you can reuse them for multiple holidays. Awesome, awesome idea. Love it. Okay. Judy at Sassy says, great idea. And then it can come back out for Easter eggs and bunnies. Yes. You can do all kinds of Easter eggs and bunnies all over the place afterwards. That would be great. Awesome. Okay. So I think I got all the questions. If I did not, and you have a question specifically for me, please go ahead and email it to me and I will definitely get back to you. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this little session, and I hope I inspired you to make something that you could use for your next holiday gathering. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye everyone.